told I couldn't do that. At a certain age, I was told I couldn't ride bikes. मुझे बहुत शौक था साइकिलों पे रेसें लगाने का. I was told I couldn't do that. There were so many things I was told I couldn't do because I was a girl. Not because I couldn't do them well. वो तो मुझे पता था already. क्लास में मैं टॉप करती थी, स्पोर्ट्स में भी अगर जाती थी तो मैं बहुत अच्छा करती थी. But I was told I couldn't do that because I was a girl. And I can understand from my mother's perspective totally कि वो उन्होंने जाहिर है एक बेटी को पाकिस्तानी माशरे में रेस करना था तो एक माई मुंडा तो नहीं रेस कर सकती थी. But so many things in my mind when I was told I couldn't do, it created a lot of trauma. And that's what I want you to understand, that a lot of women from our culture, from the Indo-Pak subcontinent, from Bangladesh, when we are raised, from actually the Muslim culture, we are raised with this notion, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this because you're a girl. And that creates a lot of trauma in a young mind. So when I talk about environmental trauma or generational trauma, a lot of women might say, I haven't had trauma, because they think trauma means कि कोई बहुत drastic उनके साथ ज़िंदगी में चीज़ हुई हो तो उसको trauma कहते हैं. Trauma at a young age can be of anything. I still remember how traumatized I was the day that I was planning with my, there were some friends coming over. दोनों लड़के थे, उनके साथ में खेलते हुए बड़ी हुई थी, मेरा भाई भी, और हम दोनों प्लान कर रहे थे आज हम ये करेंगे, आज हम ये करेंगे. And then when they came over, we were going to ride bikes, and I was so ready to show off to them how fast I could ride my bike now, क्योंकि मैंने practice की हुई थी. And then at the last minute, one of them said, no, you can't play with us, you're a girl, right? These were guys, and they were also taught the same thing, कि ये लड़की है, she shouldn't be playing with us. And I still, to this day, remember how much trauma I felt, how much बेइज्जती I felt. I felt like किसी ने मुझे चौक में थप्पड़ मार के मेरी बेइज्जती कर दी. I couldn't understand. But the feeling at that time, now I understand, was how demeaning it was for me. As if I had done something wrong by being a girl, right? और मुझे पता भी नहीं कि इसमें मेरा कसूर क्या है. What's wrong? What did I do wrong, right? So there's a lot of trauma that girls, women from our culture have, and they don't understand it, that it is impacting their lives in a really big way, because that kind of trauma then leads to limiting beliefs. You have all kinds of limiting beliefs. Let me know if you can, if this resonates with you. You have all kinds of fears that if I made a decision on my own, what if it's wrong, right? So we think that because we're told that somehow we are inferior to men, या नाकसुल अकल है औरत, तो हमें डर ही लगा रहता है कि कोई गलत डिसीजन ना मैं ले लूं. जबकि हमारे इर्द गिर्द जो मर्द हजरात हैं वो डेली बेसिस पे गलत डिसीजंस ले रहे होते हैं. They make mistakes also, but the burden on us is way more, right? So it creates all kinds of fears in women. That leads to lack of self-confidence, that leads to lack of self-love. Then there is all kinds of disempowering beliefs that come with it. And then what we do is we pass this on to our next generation. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about in this masterclass that I'm holding on March 8th, which is Women's Day. I want to talk about all of that and how you can change your limiting beliefs. It's eramsayeed.com/crush. eramsayeed.com/crush. You can go there now and join. There is a $20 fee, which is minor. I just want to get serious people who attend this webinar, because when I do these master classes, I give it my best. I talk to you about everything that I want to talk about, and I don't want anybody who is non-serious and then they create a lot of confusion during the class. So it's going to be happening March 8th, eramsayeed.com/crush. Why is it crucial to get over this trauma? As I have said, I have been doing this course also. I've been doing these courses. I have dealt with thousands of women. I have dealt with them. I know that if we can just change that limiting belief, we can switch it around, your life will change. I remember when I was in a seminar once, a couple of years ago, and one of the ladies attending the seminar came up and we were doing a one-on-one. And she was talking about how she has this fear of making decisions, that she only makes bad decisions. Now, interestingly, she was highly educated. She had a career already, but this belief was just holding her back so badly that she said she has anxiety. She had all these issues because she just doesn't have confidence in herself. She believes she will make a mistake and that she only makes bad decisions. In 15 minutes, literally in 15 minutes, I was able to change her belief system. How? Because I knew I could pinpoint the limiting belief that she was holding on to. और होता ये है कि when you have a limiting belief, you see the world through that lens. आपको उसके अलावा कुछ नजर ही नहीं आता. So when I took that lens off, she could see very clearly that she had accomplished a lot of really good things in life based on her decision-making abilities. In 15 minutes, her whole life changed, literally, in front of the whole crowd. She started crying and she told me that, how are you able to do this? Because I've had therapy for years and I was not able to do it. And suddenly, my whole perspective has changed. And I said, first of all, because I know how to do this work. I have done it on myself for years. I have done it on many thousands of other women. So now I know very quickly what needs to be changed in order to change your belief. And once your belief changes, your whole life will change. You live your life based on your belief systems. That is also something that I teach. So if you want to change your life, you can do 100 times more effort on working on the external circumstances, or you can do 100 times less effort by changing the internal circumstances. And when the internal changes, your whole life will change. That's how it has always been. That's how it was for me. I can tell you, I'm not bragging, but I want you to know so that you understand, yes, I am qualified to teach this. I was raised in a very typical Pakistani environment, just like you guys. And I then went through 2 abusive marriages, not 1, but 2, where I was constantly told I was not good enough, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And when I finally decided, no, that's not how I want my life to be, I did not focus on what was wrong in my life. This is also key, by the way. A lot of people only focus on what is wrong in their life, so they stay a victim and they get to have a pity party for themselves. The problem is, if you do that, then you will stay in that situation. Life will never change for you. I can promise you that. Whatever you focus on, wherever energy goes, wherever focus goes, energy grows. Whatever you focus on is going to grow in your life. So if you continue to focus on the problem, you are never going to get out of it. Okay, so if you want to change your life, you have to change your focus. You have to change what you believe in, and I can help you do that. And I have done it in my own life. So I went from those 2 divorces, bankruptcy, whatever, right? Alhamdulillah, to create a life that majority of people now envy. Not just women envy my life, majority of men envy my life as well, because the kind of freedom I have in my life is the envy of many people. Majority of people cannot have that. I go where I want, I travel where I want, wherever in the world I want to go, I travel, and I travel the way I want to. If it's in luxury, then yes, in luxury. I buy what I want, and I don't buy what I don't want. I live life according to my own terms, and it is my decision. Few years ago, I decided that I will live my life submitted to Allah Ta'ala and His will. And that too is my choice. Nobody is forcing it on me. That's called true liberation. Many people create freedom in their lives, but I was able to actually achieve liberation, which is when you submit yourself to Allah Ta'ala. So again, the masterclass is at iramsayeed.com/crush. Somebody just said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't afford it. You can't afford $20? Give me a break. I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy that. You are on social media right now. If I was talking about, फलाने brand की sale लगी हुई है और आपको 50% off मिल रहा है, आपने धड़ाधड़ खरीदने. अभी ईद आई भी नहीं, but आप ईद की shopping अभी कर लेंगी. $20 is not going to break anybody's bank. It's not going to make me rich. It's going to show that you are committed and you're serious. So that's why we have that very nominal fee, $20, and you're in. Okay. Now, what happens when you don't heal the trauma? So not only do you have limiting beliefs, you will also have anger, fear. Why anger? Because when the pain is not resolved and you feel helpless, then the way the brain likes to express it is anger. So you might be someone with a lot of anger issues, and you may have anxiety, you may have fear, and in some cases even depression. It just depends on the person. For different people, it shows up in different ways. So we will discuss what trauma is, how is it holding you back, what to do about it, how to break free from these chains so that you can live a life that you were meant to live. Allah Ta'ala sent you to live this life in a very powerful, purpose-driven way, and that is very, very fulfilling. आज मुझसे अगर कोई पूछे I can tell you the sweetness, the quality of life completely changes when you are not living your life based on other people's will, based on what other people want from you. Yes, it is all part of that. All of this trauma, the cultural conditioning. I speak very passionately about Muslim women's rights because that is what led me to doing my own research and finding out the truth, which is very, very different from what we are told in the society. And we will talk about that on March 8th, inshallah. So, we will talk about how to change your limiting beliefs, how you can be, if you are a mother right now, you owe it to your children to give them an example of an empowered woman, of a strong woman. Believe me, this was my, this was what drove me. जो मुझे जो हिम्मत मिलती थी, ताकत मिलती थी, it was when I would look at my daughters. I had 2 daughters. उनकी वजह से मैंने decide किया, I cannot live a life of a disempowered woman. I cannot live the life of a victim, of a weakling. I need to show them what confidence looks like, because children don't learn from us when we say things to them. Children learn from our behavior. How do we live life? How are we being in this particular situation? So I wanted to be that role model for my children. That was my desire. That was my motivation. I had no idea that later on in life, Allah will give me that role for other women, for thousands and thousands, millions of women that message me and talk about the fact that they think I'm a role model. I'm very blessed. I'm very honored. It's a huge responsibility. But if anything, if there is anything I can teach you, then this will be the first thing, is how to heal this trauma that you have had from your parents. Even though I am not one of those people who like to blame the parents. As you saw, मैं अपनी अम्मी की बहुत मशकूर हूँ. I love her to death. And I pray for her constantly. Allah Ta'ala unke darajat buland kare. Whatever I am today is because of my parents. However, they are humans. They didn't do anything perfectly. And we must address that trauma so we can move forward in life. Right? So then there is cultural and environmental trauma. और लोगों ने मिलके जो हमारी conditioning की होती है. We have to break free from all of that so that we do not pass it on to our children. Otherwise we will. And they will also have trauma in their lives, and they will also have lack of confidence and tons of fear. So please remember this. The thing that is holding you back is this trauma, unhealed trauma, the limiting beliefs that you have because of it. So I will take questions now really quick. If there are any questions, let me see. I have a lot of requests to be on the live video. I don't do that. I'm sorry, you cannot join me live. Not on this class. On March 8th you can. I am registered for both the courses. I have many questions. I'm not feeling well mentally and physically. If you have joined both the courses, wonderful. You will inshallah feel much, much better. So I'm trying to see if okay. I guess we don't have any questions here. You can post your questions, message us if you have questions.